Hello. Greetings. My name is Drew. You're you. And here's a table that has a bunch of new products on it that have become a part of the Goulet Pen's shop in the last few weeks, and I would love to share them with you. So I'm going to talk, and you're going to politely listen, and I thank you for it in advance. And we're going to kick things off by talking about some Ferris wheel press inks. Yet again, we've got 3 new inks this week from Ferris wheel press, 2 that are pretty cool and one that is very cool. So Sherry Sonata is one of their standard 38 ml bottles for $22. And this is a light-ish burgundy, very pretty color, you know, true to the name. And that is available now. Like I said, this was $22 for 38 mils. For $20, you get less ink in a smaller bottle, but there's a lot more going on in here because it is a Fairy Tales ink. F-E-R-R-I, like Ferris, wheel, Fairy Tales. The cool thing about the Fairy Tales ink is not only do they have a lot of stuff going on inside the bottle, but they actually tell you what's going on inside the bottle on the box of the bottle. So here we can see that it has a, we'll show you right here. A base of dark green, red sheen, pink and gold shimmer, and not a lot of shading here. So that is pretty cool. Knitted Nettle is the name of this ink, and this is going to be available now at 20 ml bottle for $20. So $1 per milliliter next to the Sherry Sonata. So that is pretty cool. It's fine. And of course the art is also pretty astounding as well. So Knitted Nettle, Sherry Sonata, but the real kicker is the 2024 Ink of the Year put out by Ferris wheel press, which they do every year, and they're always pretty exciting. In 2024, the ink is known as Auroralis, and there's a lot going on to this ink as well. So, fun, beautiful, vibrant box. The color is actually pretty indicative of the ink itself. It is a bright purple, dark-ish purple, but vibrant purple with a whole lot of fun pink and purple shimmer in it. And there's a whole lot of wacky stuff going on here on this box as well. So there we have it, the 2024 limited edition Ferris wheel press Auroralis. So this is a fun one. So 3 new inks. This one is a little bit more pricey than the standard one because it is a special edition. It does have a whole lot going on. So this one's going to be $25, I believe. Yeah, $25. And they're not going to be around forever. So if you wanted to, you know, get on that whole collector train, here we go. But Sherry Sonata is a good alternative if you wanted a more toned down color. So Ferris wheel press can do them sometimes. So don't forget about that. All right, let's move on to some pens. We've got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to try to move through everything pretty quick. We're going to talk about a Monteverde pen, in this case, a Ritma. So this is a new color. It is a green, and it's a really neat looking green, and we're gonna take a look at that right now. Okay, this Monteverde Ritma in green is a new addition to the Ritma selection from Monteverde, and it's a really striking green. I think it's a very, very nice color. You've got the standard kind of silvery gunmetal-y hardware here on the Ritma, a nice snappy magnetic cap that has a nice little popping sensation if you want it to have it, but it's a pretty uniform profile. You're not going to see a heavy step here at the grip, and you're not going to see any sort of curvature, you know, along the barrel. So if you do like a consistent profile with your pen in your hand, the Ritma is something that's going to help you deliver on that. So this is a cartridge converter pen. It comes with Monteverde's Yovo nib in steel, in this case black. And yeah, this is not a new pen for us, but the color is new. So there you go. These are very affordable pens. This one at $36. So no, sorry, this one is $40. The other one is $36. We've actually got 2 Monteverde Ritmas to talk about. So the larger one is $40. This other one that's $36, I wanted to show you here, is a smaller Ritma. This is the Ritma Gala. And let's bring over its larger brother here, and you can see just how diminutive it is in comparison. So this one is only available in black for the time being, but it is a miniature version. No clip on this particular Ritma, but it is magnetic like all of the others are. But it is most definitely a pocket pen. It is pretty small. It's not the smallest pen we have, but definitely unposted, it's still usable, but definitely more usable when posted. The extra cool thing about this is this right here. This piece can be unscrewed and replaced with an attachment that can serve as a lanyard or pendant pen for you. Right there, you'll see a cord that is attached to a different finial that then you can attach instead of this piece if you did, in fact, want to have it hanging from something. So, hooray for that. Again, like I mentioned, this is $36, so appropriately priced for less pen, but you know, you do have that extra feature there. So, this one only currently, sorry, I forgot to mention this, currently it's only available with the OmniFlex nib that you can see here. There we go, sorry about that. But yeah, so it's the OmniFlex nib, and it's in black, so it matches everything perfectly. So that's what we have available on this pen right now. Maybe if it does well, it'll expand its offering. So I don't know, it's an interesting concept. I'm not sure exactly how popular it'll be, but you'll have the opportunity to vote if you so wish with your monies. And let's keep with Monteverde because we have an Invincia to talk about, the Vega. Now the Vega is an Invincia, like we've seen before, but it is available in 4 colors. Here we've got the Invincia Vega in Starlight Blue, but there's also Starlight Yellow, Starlight Green, Starlight Purple, and Starlight, Blue, Green, Purple, and Yellow. Yeah, sorry. And we've got threaded barrel, a Monteverde Yovo-made steel nib there up at the top. We've got some nice gunmetal trim and some really rad blue splatters all over the barrel and the cap. And they are lacquered. It is a glossy pen, so these splatters are under a layer of lacquer, but they are really popping, and I think they're a lot of fun to look at. All of them are a little bit different, but essentially the same. Like, no, the splatters aren't like a print. They actually are splattered on there, but the pattern and variation will be different from pen to pen. But in a set, they all look really cool. They have a nice kind of retro vibe going on that I really dig. It's a cartridge converter pen. It'll come with both. And there you have it. There is the converter. We've got cartridges in the box. It's a weightier pen, so it is a metal pen. Does not need to be posted. It's a little back weighted when posted, but you certainly can do that if you wanted to. But there you have it. Fun pen, has a lot of personality to it, and you can pick up one of these for $76. All right, and now we're going to move over to some Conklins. These are pretty unique in that they are heavily themed. This one is the Hippocrates, and this is the Lex. They are very, very obviously geared toward medical professionals and legal professionals. The Lex being the legal version and Hippocrates being the medical version. Both come with a similarly branded bottle of ink as well, just standard black, but from a gift perspective, it does lend itself well to the whole presentation aspect, which is really why these pens exist. They are definitely gifty pens, or kind of milestone pens. So here we have the Lex, we've got the Conklin engraving there, and then we've got several legal symbols there on the center band in rose gold, and then you've got Justice there up at the top. And then we've got some scales there, and there's the nib, the Conklin Crescent breather hole, trademark, which we see often. It looks a little like a Conklin Durograph, but it's slightly different, so it's not exactly a Durograph model. It is its own model, but it does share a lot of similarities. Cartridge converter, and then has this trim ring here on the back. It is postable, but it doesn't post super well. It makes it really, really long in the back, so I mean, you can do it, but I don't think that it's necessary. I think this feels just fine. And likewise, you're going to see a lot of the same similarities with the Hippocrates here. Of course, you've got your ink, and then you've got the pen. A lot of the same situations here. It's basically the same pen with different symbols. So whereas you've got your legal symbols on the other side, you'll see some medical symbology here. And then you've got a guess that is Hippocrates. Yeah, father of medicine, Hippocrates. There we go. Same nib, same cartridge converter situation, but intended for a different audience, a different profession. Let's go back to Monteverde now. We're doing a lot of that. This is the Mondrian, and this is a pretty fun pen. It's a Regatta, but it's unlike any Regatta I've ever seen, and that kind of gets me excited. Like the two pens we just mentioned, this one does also come with an ink, and you've got the artist's name there, composition 1921, and I actually don't know what color this is, so I'm sorry about that, but it's free, so there we have the Mondrian. So a Monteverde Regatta. Usually these pens are segmented with pieces of metal trim separating different materials and different colors. This one has none of that. It is one continuous wrap that illustrates some of the artist's work. So it is completely new, and I think it is outstanding. I am really glad to see a fresh take on the Regatta. The larger kind of, barrel profile of the Regatta, I think, lends itself really well to a wrap design like this, and I'm pretty stoked about it, and I am eager to see more, if they in fact do more. So the classic Regatta shape, profile, magnetic posting and magnetic capping there, very, very strong magnet, and a very satisfying click when you do both. It is a cartridge converter pen. Again, Monteverde's Jovo steel nib, made in Germany. The nib, not the pen. And it's the Regatta, so they've been around for quite a while. I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon, but I think that this is a slightly new direction, and one that I think is a great thing to bring new life to an existing pen. So those are all of our Conklin Monteverde things. We're going to move on to a new brand, a new old brand, and that is Sheaffer, which is a legacy brand. I think that Sheaffer is a pretty commonly known brand, been around for quite a long while in the fountain pen industry. We've carried it before, now we're carrying it again, or at least some of them. So we're starting a little low, and I'm going to move everything over here, and I'm going to give you kind of a little rundown of exactly what we are starting with here at the Goulet Pen Company. So these three pens here are the Sheaffer 100s, and these are slightly smaller and more narrow than these two, the Sheaffer 300s, and then these are the Sheaffer icons. We'll get to those in a second. So for the 100s, they are a bit more narrow. Sorry, this is gonna have issues with focusing if I leave it there, sorry. So this is the 100. It is a push snap cap, and this particular one has a blue nib. That is not something you see every day, but the whole pen in this case is just blue. You've got blue metal grip, you've got a blue barrel, you've got a blue cap, you've got a blue clip, you've got blue hardware throughout, and a blue nib on this Sheaffer 100. So this one is called the Satin Blue. It is a cartridge converter pen, very, very satisfying to cap and uncap, and you've got the trademark Sheaffer white dot there at the top of the cap. This one, surprise, surprise, is my favorite. This one is the coffee brown Sheaffer 100, and I will be buying this. Not only is it brown and gold, which I think just match super well together with those earth tones, the Sheaffer 100 is only $63.96, so that is an excellent deal in my opinion. It's a smaller pen, but it's perfect for me. I like it quite a bit. It does post just fine if you do want that extra weight, and this brown is just lovely. Look at that. And I always like brown pens because I don't get to use my brown inks a lot because I am one of those weirdos that does match their ink with their pen. So that is the second of the 100s that we are carrying. The final one is going to be the bright chrome and gold Sheaffer 100. It's a bit of a fingerprint magnet, but look at that shine. Like, it is a stunning pen and just a statement maker. So a lot of bling on this pen, bright silver, bright gold, a tried and true combination. All right, and there we have that very lovely pen. I'll show you better looking images, and then we're going to move on to the Sheaffer 300, slightly larger than the 100. I'll bring out one that we can compare. Let's just go ahead and pick the brown. Why not? I just picked randomly. No, I didn't. I want to see the brown again. So, noticeable difference between the 100 and the 300. Not a noticeable difference in the price, however. The price is only a few dollars different, $68 to $63. The 68 obviously being the larger 300. So this is $68 as opposed to the Sheaffer 100's $63.96, but a whole lot more pen. In this case, we've got a black matte, and then we've got a blue, a glossy blue, and two different vibes. One a little bit more classic, one a little bit more modern. Both lovely and both very Sheaffer with the signature white dot there. These are also still snap cap pens. We've got Sheaffers there, classic vintage inspired nib design, and then both have the silver nib. And again, only $68 for a larger Sheaffer pen. I think that's a pretty amazing deal. And I put this in the wrong spot. Finally, the Sheaffer Icon is next up, and these are new. So we had previously carried the 100 and the 300s, but since we had not been carrying Sheaffer, they came out with these, and they're pretty interesting. So as you see here, they are available in black and red and blue and black. Beautiful, fun red kind of stripe down here in the middle, blue for this one. But the real kicker, again, snap cap, is this. That is not a grip section that you see every day, and certainly not a nib or a feed that you see every day either. It's okay. And likewise, the blue one has a similar situation here. Sheaffer down the middle on that bit of design, and then a very small semi-hooded nib and a very, very narrow feed. And these are also cartridge converter pens. And probably nothing in here now. Oh no, we've got your converter in here. These converters will also be available, as will some blue and some black cartridges. They are proprietary to Sheaffer, so you will need one of these. Luckily, the pens come with it. The Icon that you see here is more expensive. So this one is over $100 at $108 specifically. So it is a bit more, but really, all things considered, it is not what I would call a pricey pen. And it's a Sheaffer. So you've got that going. So pretty neat. Definitely something new, definitely something exciting. All of them are snap cap. All of them feel very, very nice when you close them. And all of them have solid weights to them. Even the smaller 100s have a very substantial weight. They are all metal. And I think that I'm officially excited about these. Let's talk about an Edison. Let's talk about an Edison Beaumont. Now the Beaumont doesn't get a lot of press, but it is one of my favorites. My favorite being the Ascent, which we don't have any of right now. But the Beaumont, solid second, because I like the smaller pen. And not only is the Beaumont one of the smaller Edisons, it's one of the smaller pens that turned American-made pens have. A lot of the turned acrylic pens that you'll see from local US-based manufacturers are larger pens, and that's great. The material really does look great sometimes when it's on those larger pens. But I still like the option to have a smaller pen, and the River's Edge Beaumont gives me that. It's a really lovely acrylic with a lot of depth and a lot of detail. I think River's Edge is a great name for it, but the pen itself is not a massive, gigantic pen. It's one of those pens that I think feels just perfect when it is posted. And like the Ascent, which again I told you I'm a big fan of, it posts deep. So look at this. Look at how much of the barrel is covered up when you post, all right? So that is the entire length. Right there, picture that blue mark right there, okay? That is how much it posts. So it almost covers, it's about half of the barrel that is covered, and that is a nice deep post. I am such a big fan of that. So that length right there is just perfect for me. I don't know about you, but I really love it. I love the size of the nib. It's a smaller pen, but it does have a nice full-size number 6 steel nib made by Yovo, and a beautiful trim ring down at the base of the cap. Beautiful clip, and it's made exceptionally well. Brian Gray over at the Edison Pen Company has really discerning quality standards for himself and his team, and you know you're getting something good every time. So this is a standard international cartridge or converter pen. A lot of threads there, because each of the Edisons can be barrel filled with ink. So you can fill this whole barrel. We've got so many threads there, it'll keep it nice and leak proof. So these pens are exceptional. I love them. They are $149 made in the US, and perfect size and a perfect companion for the assortment of Edison pens that are already out there, in my opinion. Now we're going to look at a BENU, a very seasonal BENU, and we've looked at seasonal BENU pens before. They had 2 Christmas pens, they had a Hanukkah pen, and now, yes, we've got Valentine's Day coming up, and they've got a pen called Love's Little Lark. And Love's Little Lark has a little Cupid on it that is hand painted, and it's got a little heart on its butt, and we've got some hearts down here at the bottom with little wings on them, and then a beautiful pink into turquoise teal gradient, and then some sparkles, of course, because it is BENU. So this is the Euphoria model, as you can see by the facets here, and that is all hand painted. There are only 300 made, and each one is done by hand. They've got very talented artists on staff over at BENU's factory headquarters in Armenia, and these painters specifically are trained in micro painting, and they have produced hundreds of pens like these, and it's fascinating. So this one is a very timely pen if you'd like to celebrate Valentine's Day, or if you just wanted to say, you know what, I haven't yet found the opportunity to get a Cupid with a heart butt on a fountain pen, and here it is ready for me, then this is the pen for you. These are limited editions, as I said. They are $280. So those are a bit more of a premium, but it's hand painted, so that is what's gonna be. And that is that. Love's Little Lark, available now. And finally, we're going to wrap things up with Montegrappa. And I did not say Monteverde like I thought I would. Yes. Maybe the fact that I just said it negates it, but I knew after talking about all this Monteverde I was going to mess up. So congratulate me, please. Thank you. I need validation. This is going to be an Elmo 01 model, which Elmo is one of their more notable models, and one of their more affordable models. You know, all things considered, it is Montegrappa, so this is definitely a luxury brand. But the Elmo is more accessible than many. So this is the second exclusive that we have had in the Elmo 01. This is the design following our beach variety that we had a little while ago that I did show you. This is Barrier Reef, and essentially it is the same body style and same overall aesthetic, but just a little less beachy, but a little more oceanic in general. So the Barrier Reef features, again, a resin made by the Goulet Pen Company, made especially for Montegrappa. And you've got that beautiful steel nib. Now, again, like some of the other nibs we mentioned here today, it is a JoWo steel nib made in Germany. However, Montegrappa does rhodium plate this nib, which gives it a shine that the other nibs are simply not going to have. And I love it. I get lost in it every time, and I think that the engraving that Montegrappa puts on these pens really does make that shine pop. So cartridge converter pen, like the other ones we looked at today, but then a ton of fun depth in this material by the Goulet Pen Company, and a lot of fun colors that somehow are able to work really well together. And you've got this beautiful wheel clip from Montegrappa. I remember visiting the factory and seeing these clips be tested. They have a machine that just yanks on them like thousands of times, and one of the many reasons I think that Montegrappa pens are pretty cool, because I saw all the work that goes into them. So this one is going to be available now for $316. It will be limited, and it will be exclusive to this store. So it won't be gone in a day, but it also probably won't be around next year either. So do with that what you will. If you are interested, then I'm glad. If you're interested and will buy it, then I'm even more appreciative. All in all, though, I'm just glad that you stuck around with me today and watched this video until the end. I really feel like we were on a magical journey together, and your time is never taken for granted by me. I thank you. Again, all the links to the products I mentioned are listed below. You can go right over to the site and check them out. Until next time, have fun and ride on.